from your first start with Shedeur. How can you guys build on that as an offense?
We just got to keep doing what we've been doing in practice, get consistent reps, talk over the certain plays and, be on the right page.
Jerry, how beneficial were that first week of practice just with him, and how much more you guys kind of expand on that relationship and that connection in those week of preparation?
My bad, you're low. I can't hear you.
Just the first week of preparation with Shedeur, obviously, how do you sort of build on that with the second week here coming up for the 49ers game? The relationship that you have with them and the chemistry you guys are trying to work on.
Oh, yeah, just keep working on that chemistry. Just keep building. Just keep speaking on what I see out there, what he see out there, and just...
Jerry Jeudy's clenched jaw during that post-game presser said more than any stat sheet ever could. It was the look of a veteran realizing that Shedeur Sanders' rise in Cleveland wasn't just a storyline. It was a takeover. This wasn't frustration from a rough outing or a tough loss. This was a proud receiver suddenly understanding that the spotlight he thought he'd earned was shifting to a rookie who showed up with swagger, precision, and a fan base ready to crown him the future. When reporters asked Jeudy about his chemistry with Shedeur, everything about his body language tightened up.
To try that hop step in the middle of you're not at the goal line. You got a lot of dudes behind you. It's inexcusable. He's had a miserable year with a few exceptions. He had the hard third down run last week on the short swing pass against the Ravens where he converted the first down. Short of that, man, it's been a miserable season for him. And yesterday was, I think, his worst play there. All the drops he's had, that was...
Instead of giving the usual energetic breakdowns he's known for, he delivered that flat, cold, he's consistently growing. One sentence. That's the kind of answer veterans give when they're trying not to explode on camera. And everyone watching knew it wasn't just an off moment. It was an ego bruised in real time. What made it even more obvious is how different this was from Jeudy's normal pressers. He usually loves explaining route concepts, reading defenses, and hyping up the game plan. But on that day, bare minimum effort, zero excitement. The room felt the tension like a cold draft blowing through the doorway. Then Sunday against Las Vegas came along, and Shedeur Sanders dropped one of the cleanest throws you'll ever see from a rookie. A 39-yard dime down the sideline to Jeudy, with Cleveland up 14-3.
Sanders can't even catch a break. Look at this poor guy rolling out right, finds his target, finds Jerry Jeudy, lights him up, perfect pass. Then Jeudy out of nowhere, he hops? What the fuck is he hopping for? This angle, he sees two defenders and he literally jumps in the air. What is that gonna do for you? Never seen anything like that. Is jumping gonna give you super speed to run past them? Even worse, was he showboating and he just didn't see the defender, so he jumped up in the air to
It was the kind of throw that makes defensive coordinators start sweating through their headsets. But Jeudy didn't see it as a chance to build something special with his new quarterback. He saw it as a moment where Shedeur's star power might overshadow him again. He secured the catch, turned upfield, and had a wide open lane straight to the end zone. That should have been a highlight reel moment that Browns fans would replay for months. But instead, something strange happened. Jeudy slowed down. He hesitated. It looked like he was thinking about how to style his way into the end zone instead of just finishing the job. And in that split second of hesitation, Jeremy Chinn came flying in from behind and punched the ball out of his hands. A totally avoidable turnover. A moment that went from hero potential to full-blown embarrassment in seconds. After the game, Jeudy tried to downplay it. He said he didn't see Chinn coming. He said he was trying to cut inside. He used every classic receiver line to explain a mistake that didn't need defending. But those excuses didn't convince anyone who understands the game. Fans and analysts knew this wasn't about getting beat by a great defensive play. This was a player sabotaging his own moment because he wasn't locked in.
Throughout your career have gone through seasons where there's been a lot of quarterback changes and multiple quarterbacks in a season. And I guess at this point in your career, how do you handle that as a receiver and adapt to a new guy back there?
I just keep being me. Ain't nothing I can't do nothing. I can't control nothing but myself. Honestly, I just keep running routes. Get open and do it. That's all I could do. I can't really.
But the real story didn't come from the field. It came from everything Jeudy refused to say afterward. Reporters gave him multiple chances to talk about Shedeur Sanders' growth. They asked about the rookie's performance. They tried to get him to acknowledge the spark Shedeur brought to the offense. And Jeudy kept shutting it all down with the driest, shortest answers possible. No smile, no hype, no real support. Just the cold detachment of someone who feels his shine slipping away. This isn't about a single bad play from Jeudy. It's about a veteran who can feel another player's rise happening right under his feet, and he can't stand it. His production hasn't been great. His confidence looks shaky. And his frustration is coming through every time he's asked about a quarterback who suddenly makes the offense more dangerous than it's been all season. Let's get to the truth Jeudy is wrestling with. It's not the fumble. It's not the drops. It's not even the rough pass Shedeur threw earlier when Jeudy got boxed in by defenders. What's keeping Jeudy up at night is the realization that he no longer controls his own value in this offense.
Been good.
Yeah,
but
it's not all on him, but he does lead the NFL in drops for the second consecutive year.
How old is he? Is he battling old age? Is
26.
Yeah, so he's young, so he's probably sitting there going, this is ridiculous. I got a cavalcade of goofballs thrown to me right now. I'm a much better wide receiver than you people are making me out to be. And then he gets the ball, I'm going to show.
When Dillon Gabriel was under center, Jeudy's targets were inconsistent. When Joe Flacco ran the show, Jeudy had to fight for relevance in a slower, veteran-heavy system. But with Shedeur Sanders stepping in and lighting up the offense with timing, confidence, and fearless throws, Jeudy suddenly isn't the focal point anymore. And that's the part he really hates. Jerry Jeudy's touches were all over the place earlier in the season, but the second Shedeur Sanders stepped onto the field, the whole offense flipped like a switch. Suddenly the playbook opened up. Suddenly receivers were seeing real downfield chances. Suddenly the young talent Cleveland drafted actually got the freedom to play like themselves. And that's when Jeudy felt something he didn't want to admit: fear. Because deep down he realized he might not be the star anymore. He might not be the main target. He might end up watching from the sideline while a rookie from Colorado becomes the new face of the franchise. That's the nightmare running through his head, and it's exactly why he's been acting uneasy around the cameras. Here's the part Jeudy knows better than anyone but refuses to say out loud.
Probably will miss blocks. Running back, they'll probably go the wrong way. Jerry Jeudy, he might get locked up a time or two. Shedeur, you have to be greater than your greatest excuse. The Browns, at least Kevin Stefanski, does not want to start you because he hasn't started you thus far. So Shedeur, you have to go out there, and if your line doesn't necessarily block, make a guy miss. If a receiver doesn't necessarily get open, buy time. If the defense does have the right play call, make it wrong. Great throw, great catch, beats great coverage every single time. I don't want to see throws. I want to see long handoffs. That's what we call them on defense when it's indefensible.
Shedeur Sanders has a stronger arm than Dillon Gabriel. He reads defenses quicker than Joe Flacco. He moves better than any quarterback Jeudy has played with this season. And if Cleveland truly leans into Shedeur's talent, if they let him keep growing, keep building real chemistry with the receivers, keep taking control of the offense, this team is going to blow up in a good way. And once that happens, when the big plays start rolling in and the touchdowns stack up, the spotlight won't be shining on Jerry Jeudy. It'll be locked on Shedeur Sanders, Coach Prime's son, a young quarterback proving that elite talent can shine through any coaching hesitation. That's the part that really shakes Jeudy. That's why his press conferences feel tense. That's why he suddenly sounds less like a veteran leader and more like someone trying not to get replaced. And when you look closely, the contradiction in Jeudy's attitude is almost wild. He wants Shedeur Sanders to succeed, but only just enough. He wants the rookie to be solid, but not so impressive that he climbs the depth chart too fast. He wants Shedeur to grow, but not in a way that makes him the main attraction in Cleveland.
See it here, how this veteran receiver hauled in the pass and then ran it to the right side where he was stopped and appeared ready, attempt to do a juke or whatever. Almost like it was a routine choreographed, scripted play. Like, usually when you warm and slow like that, you are waiting for the guys to come so you can do a juke. But when you got that much guys surrounding him.
In Jeudy's perfect world, Shedeur would be the helpful piece standing behind whichever veteran quarterback gets the nod, so Jeudy can keep pretending he's still the top priority in the offense. Because the truth is simple. If Shedeur becomes the true QB1, then Jeudy slides down the food chain. Suddenly, he's not the first read. Suddenly, he's not the center of attention. Suddenly, he's the veteran trying to catch passes in an offense designed to highlight the young star who's become the future of the franchise. And Jeudy feels that pressure every single day. Now think about the optics from Sunday. Shedeur Sanders put a perfect ball right in Jeudy's hands down the sideline. A throw most rookies can't even dream of hitting in stride. And what did Jeudy do? He coughed it up. A massive opportunity. Gone. A chance to build momentum with his new quarterback. Wasted.
Did you guys see the press conference with Jerry Jeudy? Take a look at this. Dude looks absolutely broken. What are they, 2-8? They were 3-14 last year. The former Denver Bronco was just... When you can see it in his face. Wait until someone asks a question what he says. If he says anything at all. Like... Here we go. Asking about Shedeur. How important is practice? Basic question.
Specifically to develop chemistry with him and try to get something.
It's going to be very important.
Nah, that's it.
Just having multiple reps.
A moment that could have gone viral in a good way turned into a lowlight that Cleveland fans won't forget anytime soon. And you don't need a coaching headset to understand what that reveals. It shows Jerry Jeudy knew exactly who the story of the game was supposed to be: Shedeur Sanders. And instead of finishing the job, he gave the defense a gift. That moment said more about jealousy than any press conference ever could. Here's the uncomfortable truth no one in the locker room wants to say out loud. Jerry Jeudy is jealous. He's jealous that a rookie with barely any practice time stepped onto the field and grabbed national attention with confidence. He's jealous that analysts are already talking about Shedeur Sanders' upside while barely mentioning Jeudy's season. He's jealous that one promising game from a new quarterback sparked more excitement about Cleveland's future than an entire year of his own production. And to make matters worse, everyone sees the numbers.
Somebody explain this to me, right? Shedeur throw your long-headed at the ball. Why you want to play around with the ball and cause a fumble? Man, put a 30-yard dot in your hand. You start frolicking. You're a grown man. Everybody watching this man debut, you know it's this man debut. Why in the world are you playing around with the ball in your hand? You work for Dylan? Stefanski put you up to this, bro? Long-head ass dude. Like, do y'all actually see this, bro? The man get the ball and start frolicking, bro. He frolicking, trying to point off, trying to troll. Why you trolling? Why you playing around in Shedeur time, bro? You could have played around in Dylan time all them times you had time to play. You didn't want to play on his time. You want to play on Shedeur time.
Jeudy's season has been rough. 32 catches, 395 yards, and 1 touchdown. Those aren't star numbers. Those aren't franchise player numbers. Nothing clicked for Jerry Jeudy earlier in the season. He had chances with Dylan Gabriel, and the production stayed flat every single week. But the moment Shedeur Sanders stepped onto the field, suddenly Jeudy remembered the role he was supposed to play in this offense. Because deep down he saw something he desperately needed: a lifeline. He saw a young quarterback who actually pushes the ball downfield. He saw someone who doesn't freeze up going through reads. He saw a kid who could help him rebuild his reputation and finally put up the numbers people expected from him this year. But that lifeline only matters if Jeudy is ready to act like a real mentor and a real pro. That means supporting Shedeur, helping him grow, and being the steady veteran presence a rookie quarterback needs.
Were you trying to throw the game? What was that? Second half or second whatever, 350? What the fuck was that?
Instead, we got a receiver so stressed about his fading relevance that he couldn't even secure a simple carry through traffic without creating his own disaster. It looked like he was fighting ghosts instead of defenders. Here's the part Jerry Jeudy doesn't want anyone to say out loud. He needs Shedeur Sanders to succeed. He needs the kid to become a legit starting quarterback, because that's Jeudy's last path to staying relevant in Cleveland. If Shedeur struggles, if he gets overwhelmed, if the Browns end up bouncing between quarterbacks again,
cut Jerry Jeudy right now. Cut him. Send him to the locker room. He's not out of play anymore. Cut Jerry Jeudy.
What happened on that?
I was trying to make a play. Wide open. I see 3 defenders right there out from the cut cross field. I ain't feeling behind me. Simple as that.
Then Jeudy fades into the background all over again. But if Shedeur turns into something special, if he becomes the type of young quarterback who can take over games, then Jeudy gets to ride with him. That's how he gets his numbers back. That's how he gets his name back in the conversation. That's how he becomes more than a footnote in a disappointing season. But that requires Jeudy to help Shedeur instead of resenting him. It requires him to show real excitement about what Shedeur could become instead of panicking about where he might fall on the depth chart. And after everything we watched on Sunday, it's clear Jeudy isn't ready to embrace that reality yet. Look at the fumble again. You can see it clearly.
You know, Kevin said that Shedeur is going to get all the first-team reps. How important is this week of practice going to be for you guys and for you specifically to develop chemistry with him and try to get something going?
It's going to be very important.
And what have you seen of Shedeur? We don't really get to watch very much practice, and I know he hasn't had first-team reps yet, but what kind of development have you seen in him over these past few?
Jeudy hauls in the pass, then glides toward the right side like he's waiting to set up some dramatic juke move. Almost like he was going through a routine, like it was choreographed, scripted play, the way he slowed down. That kind of warm-up pace only makes sense when you're waiting for defenders to converge so you can break loose. But when you've got that many players surrounding you, slowing down like that is asking for trouble. And trouble found him fast. The fumble against Las Vegas might end up being the most meaningful play of Jeudy's entire season, not because of how it affected the scoreboard, but because of what it exposed about his mindset. It showed a receiver so wrapped up in his own insecurities that his fundamentals fell apart. It revealed a veteran so worried about losing the spotlight that he practically sabotaged his own moment instead of helping a rookie quarterback shine. And yes, Kevin Stefanski tried to smooth it over afterward. And yes, analysts tried to be polite and call it a simple mistake. But anyone who pays attention to body language, competitive ego, and locker room dynamics knows exactly what was really happening. Jerry Jeudy's jealousy hit its peak right when Shedeur Sanders needed him to be locked in and ready to deliver. And that emotional slip showed more than any stat line ever could. Like, comment, share, and subscribe.